Greetings everyone, hope you are well, hope things are good for you wherever you are, whatever part of the universe you live in, and things, yes, not quite sure, but yeah, welcome back, thank you for taking the time to watch this nonsense. So where are we this week? Well, I've done some expansion. I've expanded said mob farm. Let's pop down and see that. As you can see, you can hear them dying up there. Die, you mangy lot. I've put some more of these drawers out here to catch some of the drops. But what I've also done is, because I was having a lot of armor drops and things that I was never going to need. Initially, I was converting them all, but it just seemed to take forever and ever. So I'm now funneling those out of here and here, using this controller slave, which is another input-output to this entire draw system. So any of those that come in there gets summarily dumped in the bin. So we're still getting weird things like the Happy Bird. Oh, this is a Soren bag, which always seems to have the same things in it. But yeah, you can get various different bags. At the moment we've got 11 legendaries. So things are flying through here and creating those. I've got a little pipe at the back there, you might have seen it. All that does is it takes out the epic bags, sorry, the rare ones, which are these here, and throws them into there, which then in turn makes the legendaries. Nice and simple. So that goes out there and it pops in the top. Simples. So anything that comes through that's either a common or an uncommon or a rare gets immediately sent up this way. Nice. And loads of cake. Cake everywhere. Too much cake. Might keep those iron swords there, you never know. So yeah, and let's just pop upstairs, like so. You can see we've extended this. This was the original platform ending here. We've now extended this back. Why? Because we've extended this out up here. Let's just pop up here and have a looky-loo. Now you can see inside there, nice red squares. I've got this dark clear glass, this Ender IO glass. So I can see what's occurring, because at one point things weren't working correctly. But now I've got these mob fans in here. I've got them with a +3 upgrade, which means that they will go 3 in this direction and that direction. Anything that lands there gets blown into this trench in the middle. Let's just pop around here without falling off. And I've got a trench in the middle with these little directional plates on. So as soon as they fall down here, they get zipped across to that hole and dropped to their inevitable doom, which is always fun. But yeah, I've got 8 of these in total. I think I can expand this back still. What we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can go back at 3 more, really, because these have a range of 7. I think it was 7. I'm sure I counted it. But we can do that. We can pop them back. We can get more spawn space and more goodies, which is what I might do. But for now, I just threw that. Just basically created this to be a little bit more efficient, because it wasn't being that efficient at all, which is never good. Never good at all. I've also sealed it up here, so I don't need to see into there anymore. Still got this little fella back here. This is collecting XP. I think it's collecting XP. Yes, it is. And the fluid goes out the south, and the items go down into here. So yeah, that's the expansion there. Let's move along here. We haven't done much different on this side. I've pretty much left this. I've kind of made a little, it's kind of very crude way of converting this witch water. That should be sending out. Oh no, because I turned that off. So I can extract this like that, and what that'll do is that should pop some sand in there. Excuse me. Ooh, indigestion. It's the coffee. Ooh, bad for you. So rather than me manually doing this, what I want to do eventually is just have this constantly going and filling up with water, rather than me doing this, which is a bit of a pain. Let's put these back in here. And last one, there we go. I've now got some dirty slime, some purple and blue dirty filthy slime. Filthy dirty. So I'm getting quite a lot of slime off these congealed slime blocks. So I've just left that there for now, which is why I'm not really growing anything else on this side. And I've also moved these around a little bit, so we've now got anything that goes in there immediately turns into dirt, and I've got quite a considerable amount of dirt in there now, which is good. So over to the other side. I've been trying desperately to work on this agriculture side. It's just a little slow though, it really is. I've expanded the range of this farm by putting a double layer capacitor in there. It's supposed to have a bigger range now, which it does. Let's just show range. You can see it pops right out to here now and down to there. I've still got more room on this side that I can expand. I mean, it goes all the way to there. I think eventually what I'll do is I'll move this farm, possibly 2 over this way, so that these 2 finish here, and then I can expand it another 2 that way. There was an Enderman round here somewhere. Because they love coming up here and stealing. Look at that. Just blatant stealing. Filthy Enderman. Filthy, filthy Enderman. So this is doing quite well. It's ticking over. As I say, it's a little bit slow. I've got another hoe in there, so when this one finishes, it'll just drop in. You can't seem to put any kind of bone meal in these for mystical agriculture. Even their special bone meal, because they, as you can see here, where's it gone? Where are you going to? Not there. It was around here, so oh, there we go. You got fertilized essence and mystical fertilizer. This doesn't actually fit into any of these, so I'm not quite sure what we're allowed to put in there. For mystical agriculture, it might be just nothing. They might just exist on their own. Unsure. So that's the farm. Might get another one of these going. Yeah, I've got some ideas for this episode. Let's just get this on the way through. They always do. I've also popped a little chest up here, which is connected right back to the drawer system underneath. So rather than going all the way down to put things in storage, I can just pop them in there and fly off downstairs and get put in the system. So there's still work to do up here. Still more room. I've extended this out a bit more, but I've got more room to put some more farming stations down here. The chickens, all they do is poop. They just poop. It's constant poop. It's a poop-ageddon. There's so much poop. Just so much poop. Unbelievable amount of poop. So I've had to install a trash can on this side so I can get rid of some of this poop. And we've now got up there a black chicken, an iron one, 2 black ones. A gold, a copper, redstone, and aluminium, or aluminum for our American cousins. So I'm still crossbreeding these. It's going quite well, although this cyan chicken took about 20 breeds to actually get this one, so it's not always a given. I'd say it's about, I don't know, a 70% chance, probably. I've got loads of iron and loads of flint, but only one of these, you little tinker. But it'll poop out cyan eggs, which will be, let's just have a look for cyan. Iron, double hit in there, no cyan eggs in there. Do you have any down here? Have you left me any little eggies? No. I'm guessing they only lay eggs when they're up here. So what I might do is take out an inky black, like so. Put him down there, and where is he? Cyan. Right, you can come up here so you can give me some eggs. Hopefully. Got another drop in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's it going to be? Feather. Yeah. Okay. I got a feather. Really good. Well, you can stay up there anyway. Might make some more of these, but again, I've still got to expand this area and make it a little bit bigger. But it's just the poop. Oh my god, the poop. But it's quite good because you can combine all that poop and when you do, you can make fertilised dirt, which apparently makes crops grow quicker, which is what we need. Now, I had to replace this wall here. I've got a little death area here, so if I get too many chickens, I can just scoop them up and drop them in lava. Unfortunately, this was made of wood, and I kept disappearing downstairs, and when I reappeared, all my chickens were everywhere, and chaos was ensuing. There was poop everywhere, bouncy, floaty eggs everywhere, and every time I came up here, this was missing, and I thought, oh, it must be a chunk error. So I tried all kinds of stuff with that, and turns out it was none of the above. It was to do with fire, that's all. It set fire to a bit of a fence and then started on a bit of a wildfire all around here. It burnt out all. I used to have wood in the floor, you might be able to see on this side, and it suddenly stops there. If one of these caught fire, then sometimes the floor caught fire, and off it went. So half of this was all missing. Yes, you're very excited, aren't you? Yes, you're just an idiot. So we've now got a bit of an ugly half and a half at the moment, but still, it's all work in progress. I may even make a separate area just for chickens and have all this as farms. Not sure yet, because we haven't branched out quite over in that direction. Plus we've got areas downstairs that we can branch out into. There's always room for more. Throw those out, like so. And then I think that's it for up here. I've set this going up again, because initially we didn't have one of these because we took it for a system somewhere else. I think it was the sieving system downstairs. But I've now put these furnaces in with inserts and then outputs underneath, just so we can get some natural stone. So I can just throw stacks and stacks and stuff in there, and off it'll go. Give me some nice stone. I think that's it for up here. Let's bob downstairs. And still got the reactor, still ticking away. I am looking to expand that at some point, but we're still quite a way away from that yet, although I am still getting the bits and pieces that I need for it. So this is what we need to look at. We need to organise all of this nonsensical nonsense and things. So I've been looking at other systems to try make life easier, and I've been testing out this little thing here, and this is refined storage, and it's very similar to Applied Energistics version 1, not the version 2. So you don't have to worry about how many lanes of data you've got in your cables or anything like that. All the cables just work. The other differences are the disk drives have the storage disks in it. Again, very similar to Applied Energistics, but this time they just store 16,000, whereas before you could get, let's say, 16,000 items of various amounts. So this is actually total units. So as you can see there, there's 3,662. I'm having a problem with my numeros. Within this one storage, there's nothing in there at the moment. Again, it looks very much like Applied Energistics, and it does act the same way. You still have the same kind of sorting systems on the side and synchronization. It can be redstone controlled. So we have a crafting grid, a pattern grid, which again, similar to AE, you create your patterns in here, and it makes templates so you can craft things. We have a crafting monitor, which monitors what we are crafting, but these are the crafters. So you have these 9 slots here where you can pop these fellows in. If you hold down shift, it shows you what they are. That's just making awkward planks. And the directional as well. So like here, this one's pointing down into the solderer, or as the Americans call it, a solderer. Well, it's got an L in it, but there you go. The Americans. So in this solderer, this is where you make all your bits and pieces. So for example, these fellas here. If we just click on the uses of those, you can see here. You need these to make the advanced processor. So I've got this crafter. You know, you're so rude. You are so rude. In this one we have various things. We've got some printed silicon, some improved processors, and some advanced ones. So when I want to craft those, it will select all the items out of here and pop them into here. And then they'll be in there ready for me to take them back out. Because I haven't yet done any piping out. This was just a little test area where I was really just testing out how this works. I've got a little drop chest where I can pop things in. Like that pattern, for example. It's not the fastest at the moment because it only has 2 speed upgrades in there. That just bobs it all into the system. Down here we've got the controller. Again, very similar to the controller in AE. This just shows you what's connected to your system. As long as it's connected to a block next to it, this will recognise it. And you can see on this side, uses a little bit of a different kind of power system, an RS per tick, which I'm assuming is refined storage per tick. So it converts the RF that we're sending in, where are we sending it? Through here, into RS. And at the moment, it's not drawing that much. 31 RS per tick. So you have one of my cacti. Right, that's it. It's time for Solarium Dagger. Let's draw this little man over here. Come on, come by, both of you. Come on, there you go. You can't get past there, can you? So I can just happily chomp at you. Yeah, I put these in for this very occasion. So, because we sometimes get Endermen teleporting out of our mob system, which is painful, they teleport all over the base. So I've got these little low-slung ceilings. So every time they come this way, I can kill them this way, or I can draw them down here. Quite simple. Let's just put these spoils in here. And then let's go back here. So yes, this is drawing a very low amount of power. It shows the amount of things I've got connected to it. You can't select anything in here, but it just shows you what you've got connected to it. Next to it, I've got a processing pattern encoder. And this is similar to this, but in AE you've got the option to make it a craftable item or a non-craftable item. The non-craftables tend to go into alloy smelters and sag mills like that down there. So, but for this you need a separate machine to do this, where you put them in, you put your patterns in here and you create them. But for all other stuff you would use this. So if I want to create, let's say, pop that in there, it'll show you what generally it will craft into. You can use our dictionary as well if you've got various diamonds from various different things, but we don't. So if you want it to do something else, so let's put these in like that, it'll give you a block because that's its natural craft. But if you want to do something else, like for example turn silicon into printed silicon, you need to run it through the pattern encoder. That's the only difference. So I've got this one pointing back at the crafter, so it'll send things in, send things back. All nice and simples. To make your storage disks, again, very similar to Applied Energistics. Starts off with the low tier one, and it starts to move up. You need 3 of each, exactly like Applied Energistics. I'm surprised they're not getting sued, but it's so similar, it's unreal. But as I say, it's like version 1, so it's a lot quicker and a lot easier. So what I need to do now is I need to move this, pop this over here, because this will probably be my central area, as where everything seems to be at the moment. So I'll pop that over here, and eventually I'll drain all of this into this new system, condensing all that down into very little. I think I will keep these actually, because these are quite handy for getting the ore chunks out. So when my little fellas on this side finish sieving like this, I can just throw these very quickly into there, and they appear as ore chunks down here like this. So I can then just throw this into sag mills on this side. It's not really automated yet. It's still at the beginning stage, I think. So that'll just grind them down to dust and then send them on and make things and pop them back out here, like so. and then I just pick them up and put them over here. Simples. Yeah, that's everything. So yeah, I'll relocate this over here, and then we'll pick it back up from there, I think. Seems a good place to start. And there it is, all moved over. So what was once there is now here, and we've got rid of all these other drawers. Get these compactors because they're quite handy to upscale and downscale from nugget to block. Quite handy, and especially these as well on the bottom, which is why these are locked, so that I can happily pull things out of here and it won't clear the chest. They're very good at compacting drawers. I do have another one over there for cobblestone. May keep those for the time being. Yeah, they're quite handy. And yeah, we've got everything in here as much as we can at the moment. I've nearly run out of one, and I've got a bit of the other. I can make loads of more of these off camera. Actually, what are they? 16K storage disk. Let's have a look at that. 16K storage part. I will eventually make crafting easier for these. So I can get 3 of those. But you need 9 of those altogether. Get 6 of those. That should make this one. And I'm missing basic processor. What's the recipe? Do we have that in here? Basic processor? No, we don't. So let's have a look at... was it one that I made on there, or was it one that I made on here? I think it could be in this one. Let's see if we've got any patterns. We've got 2. So what do we need? Basic. No, it wasn't a basic, was it? Don't think so. No. Yeah, it is a basic processor. It is printed, redstone and silicon. Definitely has to be done on the bottom then. What was it now? Jesus, my memory. Where was I looking? There we are. Basic processor. Printed basic processor, redstone, silicon. So we get some of those, and one of those, and we need printed silicon for one of those as well. We pop into here, think, donk, dunk. That is going to make a basic processor. I'll take one of these out of here, pop it in there, steal this pattern that we had from up here, and remember where I'm putting these. Oh no, it's already done that. So what I need to do is, where did I put the pattern? What the? Oh, it's gone back inside there. Okay, let's grab that, and then in here we pattern that out, and then pop that into the solderer. Then let's come back in here and look at crafting. Where's it gone? Display, only craftable. So let's craft 20 of those. See how we go on. We've also got a crafting monitor up here, which will tell me what it's doing and whether I can cancel all this. But at the moment it seems to be doing what it's supposed to do. It's dropped them all in here and it's cooking them off. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Well, I think that's it for this episode. I really do. I think we'll call it a do there. Got a little bit more moving on here, so making progress. It's always hard in the early stages, but we shall get some more crafting, some more agricultural stuff upstairs, and possibly expand those farms. Sort out the chickens and their irascible poo, which is terrible. Pooing everywhere, not a good thing. Not very hygienic, I would say so. So, thank you very much for stopping by and sticking with me till the end. And as always, much love. Much love.